Coach, winter is just around the corner as you get a look at New Era Field just south of Buffalo, New York. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the New York Giants and the Buffalo Bills. It's the final 3 weeks of the season, still plenty to play for here as we're underway in Week 15. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
Detroit! Detroit!
The first carry for the former Nittany Lion. This is Saquon Barkley. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. Saquon Barkley with touchdown number 20 on the year. And the Giants are going to take a first quarter lead. Rosas good with the extra point. And that makes the score 7-0. Rosas now to kick this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. This is the first carry for Rob Kelly. And he'll get this one across the 20, but only up to about the 21. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Detroit! Detroit!
Back to throw here. And that'll be incomplete. Zay Jones was the intended receiver. And now it's 3rd down. Charles, already trailing by touchdown early. This offense, how imperative is it for them to get points out of this drive?
Well, they feel like they have to go ahead and match because of what was already on the board against their defense. But I think even more so, you just want to avoid 3 and outs. You want to be able to stay on the field for a little while, let your defense catch their breath a little bit, even if you don't score any points.
He'll look to throw. And down he'll go at the 25. He'll wind up getting 4 yards there on his own, but it also brings up 4th down.
And, partner, I would guess that in his headset he was hearing from his coach, it's 3rd down, don't take a sack. And in this case, he's able to avoid the pressure and get out of there. He doesn't get the first down, but he does turn a possible loss into positive yardage.
And the Giants ready to come out now. And coming off a one-play drive that was so deflating for the defense, what's their mentality? How do they rally here and stop this offense?
Well, hopefully there's some determination that sets in because they weren't ready to go on the last one. Give all the credit to the offensive guys for getting it done, but to allow a run of that length, that's just not being prepared. So now, are they determined? Are they ready to read their keys and make the proper plays?
And we'll see how determined they are. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd and 11. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Now Allen throwing on 2nd down. They'll set up the screen to Barkley. A huge play there on the screen pass. 61 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
First trip to the red zone for the Giants. They've got it first and goal at the 6. A first carry for the Clemson man, Wayne Gallman. And he is in. Touchdown, New York. A great effort there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Giants add on to their lead. And it's good to make it 14-0. Rosas now to kick this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Back onto the field now comes the Bills offense. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early.
And he can't get away from the pressure. The Giants get there. Alec Ogletree in there to make the sack. He buries him for a loss of 10. And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And he fires one incomplete. He was looking for Charles Clay as tight end. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on 1st down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. They'll rifle this one deep right side. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on 3rd down conversions to start this thing. New York.
I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
And this is caught. A spectacular one-handed grab there. Touchdown, Giants. Odell Beckham, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Giants are able to grow their lead.
Well, Brandon, if we go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator, he showed us his script. Didn't show us everything now. He said, here's the script for the game. I think everything's going according to plan in a big way. 3 drives, 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, that's about as good. That is as good as you can do, I guess. So, well done.
Yeah, well done indeed. Tremendous execution.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. The Bills offense coming out, ready to take over. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
After the incompletion, they'll try once more from the 20-yard line on 2nd and 10. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. He's got a man. It's Corey Coleman. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down. So finally completes his first pass. Credit the defense, though. They've been showing him some different looks, keeping him off balance.
Yeah, I like it. I like the observation that you had there, because when you give him different looks and give any quarterback different looks, it takes just a little bit longer to process sometimes, and you don't throw the ball with the same confidence. You're not sure that that's where you should go with the football, and that's worked for the defense early in this game, and now he's got his first completion. Let's see if his confidence comes back, and he starts to get into a nice little groove.
And he's able to get it to the 33, good enough for a first down. At 5 yards on the play there, the drive will continue. So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33. Back to throw now on first down. Caught on the right side by Jones. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
50 catches for him now on the year, and he's got a first down.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
A gain of 3, second down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense, because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. The Bills on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Looking to throw. And he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42.
3 scores down, not even a halftime yet. They're not getting much generated offensively. They've got to figure it out.
It's tough because this defense just seems to be playing with so much confidence right now.
They really are. They are on their toes, and they're getting at them.
Here's the Giant offense now making their way back out onto the field. And the ledger for them so far looks pretty good, doesn't it?
It certainly does. Touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. Not sure it can be much better than that. They've got to feel very good about the groove that they're in at this stage of the game.
They begin with a run by Barkley. And he's able to get this across the 10 before being taken down. They needed some breathing room. He gave it to them. 11 yards and a first down. One thing's for sure, this defense has to figure out how to stop the ground game. He's eating them up here in the first quarter.
It looks like they have to go to different forces, aren't they? The conventional things aren't working too well. So I remember a coach of mine saying way back when a back's having a great game, you've got to get the ball out of his hands. See how far he can run without the ball. And what he meant was takeaways, knock it loose, because maybe you can't just stop him with just regular tackling.
On second down, here's Allen. To Shepard, complete over the middle. And he'll get it up to the 12-yard line here. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Throwing is Allen on third. He finds Beckham complete. And he's finally taken down, and it's a big gain there on what will turn out to be the final play of this. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Allen now on first down. That's caught by his tight end, Evan Ingram. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
A first down carry for Barkley. Yeah, he will go out right near the 35-yard line. Same result as last play, 14 yards and another first down. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the second level because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the second level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
They keep it with Barkley on first down, and nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Allen looks to throw on second down. Caught left side. It's Beckham. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be third down.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
Allen now on third down. And this is going to be incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Well, they started that drive all the way back at the 1, able to march down, get 3.
It was daunting to begin with, wasn't it? But I thought overall, a very poised and efficient drive to get 3 points.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Bills getting set to go. So far, they've had 3 drives, 3 punts. Not good.
Not good indeed, because you've got to have something to show for being out on the field. Now, sometimes, if you have a game where neither side has scored, 3 punts isn't a bad thing. But when you're trying to set the pace, get up on top in a game, you've got to show better offense and find a way to put some points on the board.
And a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
When you're putting together a formula for winning defense, it's exactly what we're seeing in this game. Controlling the line of scrimmage, attacking, and changing everything so that now they're playing in the offense's backfield. They're playing an excellent game.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Give him 3 yards on the run there. That still leaves him with a difficult 3rd and 8 coming up.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. And he's got his man. It's the tight end Clay. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. First time these two have hooked up this afternoon, and it's a first down.
Gun! 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 Gun!
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. He'll leave it for Kelly, complete. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. Call it a gain of 5, and it'll be second down.
Detroit! Detroit!
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
Set! Green, 39!
Back to throw. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. New York set to take the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. On second down, here's Barkley. And he's dropped just shy of the 25 at the 24. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks.
This guy's well on his way now to a big game on the ground. It's another good run there. Puts him over the century mark in yardage, and we're still in the second quarter.
Throwing on first down is Allen. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. 30, 20, 10, and all the way in. Touchdown, New York. Odell Beckham, 76 yards. And the Giants just continue to pour it on. And his kick is right through. Rosas now to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Bills offense gets ready to head back onto the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Now a nice play defensively on first down as this is knocked away and incomplete. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a third down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Then he hits his man, Matthews. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. First time they've hooked up here. Good for 17 and a first down. They go play action here on first down. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Alec Ogletree. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line. Well, when you start thinking of guys that are in the mix for Defensive Player of the Year, I think you use him as Exhibit A. Maybe he's not the leading guy right now, but he's at least on the periphery and deserves to be in the discussion.
And because of that, he's looking at a game today where in order to make that big move and maybe become the guy, he needs multiple takeaways, multiple big plays, things that get our attention and reverberate for weeks to come.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. Back to Buffalo after this. Here's a give to Barkley. Fighting his way down to about the 35-yard line. Tackle made there by Matt Milano.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
They'll try to run for it with Barkley. And he'll be taken down at the 34. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a fourth down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
So they recovered the fumble, but ultimately could not take advantage of the short field.
Definitely a lost opportunity right there. I mean, they were in prime position to put 6 on the board, ended up settling for 3.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line.
Detroit! Detroit!
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
This defense is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Benjamin with it over the middle. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a 1st down. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They're going to look to throw. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. From the left hash, this will be a 52-yard attempt. And Hauschka's kick is good. So we come upon halftime here with the visiting Giants out on top. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, Rosas now to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Out come the Bills now as they'll go on offense first here in this 3rd quarter. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution, or did they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they felt they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. And incomplete. Janoris Jenkins with good coverage that time as he was able to get in there and knock it away. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that, and thus far they've been successful.
And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
They'll look to throw again. Gets it to Benjamin. It's caught. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. The Bills passing game getting them down the field. They've got another 1st down. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. They'll look to throw now on 1st down. Complete to Kelly. It's a gain of 7, and it's a 2nd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
They'll look to throw. And Matthews over the middle with a grab. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. That good for 6 as they keep this drive right on rolling. I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They look like a different team here in the third quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there were very many trash cans that got kicked over that type of a speech. I think what they did was they analyzed what worked in the first.
Looking for Benjamin, but it's intercepted. Picked off at the 13. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the second week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. He's got the lane, and there he goes. Past the 20. And he does take it in for the touchdown, but a flag on the field, and I don't think this is going to stand.
Yeah, don't put the points on the board just yet.
Gallman will run it. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
Partner, if you want more carries, I think we saw how you get him. Showed that he's got the fresh legs, and he picked up the first down on that run. Don't just ask for him. Show him that you're supposed to get the football.
Right back to him on first down. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. A handoff to Barkley. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
They'll run it again with Barkley. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8. The Giants on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Now Saquon Barkley, and they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
So, Brandon, when this offense gathers together to watch tape for this game, they're going to be feeling pretty good about themselves until the coaches get upset about the play we just saw. But you know their defense is going to be, but we put up big points all game long. The defense is going to win one every now and then.
And off the crossbar, no good. A sensational effort from that distance, but rejected by the bar. Well, they tried the field goal from just inside of 70 yards. It missed, and now this offense set up nicely at midfield. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. There to stop him on the defensive side, Lorenzo Carter.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
He'll look to throw. And this one's incomplete. He was trying to get it to Zay Jones that time. And it's 3rd down.
Let's face it, you can run the route tree as many times as you want, get in sync, practice it, do all those things. But once you get to game speed, it doesn't always time up quite that well. That one goes incomplete.
They'll set up a throw. And the return stops at the 39-yard line. That is now 7 interceptions between last week and this week. 3 in this game, 4 a week ago.
And I saw the head coach write on his play sheet, make a little note. I hope he's writing self-scout. Bring in the guys that scout games for you with a different eye and watch him and see what's going on, and maybe they can pick up what the flaws are, and hopefully they can correct them.
Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. Again, it's Barkley. Just a couple on the ground there, and that's going to bring up 3rd and about 6. 2 yards on the first down carry, and then followed up by 2 yards on the second down carry.
Well, that's definitely not going to be enough to get the job done. Wasn't the expression 3 yards in a cloud of dust?
Now they're going to need 6 on 3rd down to keep the drive going. On 3rd down, Barkley. Well, he's taken down, but not before picking up the first, thanks to a flashy little spin move. So a solid run by Saquon Barkley, and another 1st and 10 here. They'll run with Barkley, and he'll take it across midfield and into Buffalo territory. Trent Murphy, the one to bring him down.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
This is Barkley. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it's going to make it 3rd down and 6. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
The pitch goes to Barkley. And he will have a 1st down as they get him to the ground at the 37. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
And he'll snag about 5 yards down to the 32.
And he continues to pile up the yardage. That puts him over $150 now. And this defense has really had its problems trying to keep him contained.
Let's go. 3, 9, 2.
On the run, it's Barkley. And he will cross the 30 down to the 29-yard line. Still a couple yards short of the 1st as the 3-yard gain brings up a 3rd down.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the 2nd level.
3 down. Hey, check.
On the toss, there goes Goldman. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. A 5-yard loss there is going to bring up 4th down.
Yeah, let me puff out my chest a little bit, even though I'm not rooting for either team. That was a really nice defensive play. It's awfully fun to watch, even in an offensive game.
And that is no good. He gave it a good run. That wasn't more than a foot or so wide to the left. And this score will stay right where it is. So another long try for 3 and another kick that comes up lacking.
Yeah, this isn't going to do any wonders for his field goal percentage, but you have to figure as a head coach that when you send a guy out there to try and kick from that distance, it's a 50-50 proposition at best.
And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there brings up 2nd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield after a gain of about 4.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down. And now comes the field goal unit on. And, boy, this is asking an awful lot here. Maybe that's an understatement. And they say officially it's a 68-yard attempt.
Turnover. That's what we do. Other way. Let's go.
Barkley. And an alley to run. And he's taken down inside the 30. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Coming up to the line, and they will need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. Down to the 25. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. Now it's Barkley, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. The Giants on 3rd down, 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd and 8. And they'll run it here. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4th. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win. Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys, they've got it going today. And it bangs off the left upright and deflects away. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. So plenty of leg, but it's the accuracy there that lets him down. Yeah, he hit it really well. I think this might have been good from 55. But you'll see it just conk off that upright. And they're denied a chance at 3 points. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup, and it'll make it a 2nd down. He'll look to throw. Left side, caught by Matthews. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A nice gain of 21 yards. One final shot. They'll look to throw. Over the middle and caught by the tight end Clay. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. Well, Charles, it's great to win at home in the NFL. When you win on the road, it's a little extra special, isn't it? It is because, let's face it, in most cases, you're not expected to go on the road and win in the National Football League. It just doesn't usually compute. So to get out there, get that done, and then head back to your city with one in the victory column, oh, that's a fantastic feeling. So for the Giants, the final 2 weeks are going to tell the story for them as they move to 9-5 with a win. And they'll return home next week to take on the Miami Dolphins. Meanwhile, for the Bills, the loss might knock them out of playoff.